They say in Igbo land, Onye mere oma, oma na esoya. Whoever does good, good follows them. But what they don't tell you is this. When goodness becomes your shadow, evil will try every door to destroy you. And on that ordinary Wednesday in Port Harcourt, when Angela gave away her last kobo to a weeping stranger, she signed a contract with destiny that neither poison, nor kidnappers, nor the darkest juju in Ogun State could break. But she had no idea that her greatest test would come from the smile of a friend. Before we continue with what happened next, if you're finding this story compelling, consider subscribing. We post new African stories every week, and your support allows us to keep bringing you these deeply interesting stories. Now, back to the story. Angela grew up in Port Harcourt, that restless city where the Niger Delta meets ambition, where oil money flows through some streets while others struggle for gari to make one meal stretch into two. Her family home was in one of those quiet neighborhoods where people knew each other's names, where neighbors still borrowed salt and returned it with interest. Her father was a retired clerk. Her mother sold vegetables in the morning market. They were not rich, but they were not hungry. In Ridi Nulo, there was food in the house. Breakfast was simple. Lunch was shared. Dinner was grateful. And every morning, Angela's mother would pray, Chineke, bless this child. Let her not suffer what we suffered. Angela was brilliant. At the University of Port Harcourt, where she studied finance, her lecturers called her the calculator because numbers danced in her head like akara in hot oil, perfectly, effortlessly. She graduated with first-class honors, her name written in gold letters on the Faculty Hall of Fame. But in Nigeria, certificates do not pay rent.
For 2 years after graduation, Angela worked at Oil Mill Market every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. She sold clothes for Madame Gozi, a trader who sold original Turkey wares, though everyone knew half came from Aba. Angela would carry bundles of clothes, stand in the sun, and shout until her voice was hoarse. Come and buy your original women wears here. Na mumu they go boutique. The market women loved her. She was honest. She didn't cheat customers. She didn't inflate prices. And when she made sales, she accounted for every naira, every kobo. But this particular Wednesday would change everything. Angela was walking to catch a bus to Oil Mill when she saw her at Rumoila Junction. A woman, perhaps in her 40s, sitting on the concrete barrier, crying so hard her whole body shook. Her factory uniform was stained with sweat and dust. Her wrapper was askew. Her eyes were red and swollen. Most people walked past. In Port Harcourt, everyone has their own problems. But Angela stopped. Mama, wetin happen? Why you dey cry so? The woman looked up, surprised that anyone cared. She wiped her eyes with the edge of her wrapper and spoke in broken English mixed with pidgin. My sister, I just comot from work. I work for one factory as laborer. Today na payday. Dem pay me my 12,000 naira salary. I wan take the money go house, buy drug for my sick pikin wey dey house, and buy small foodstuff. But as I dey enter bus, thief pick my purse. Everything don go. My money, my phone, even the small provision I buy for my daughter. Now I no fit go house. I no fit do anything. My pikin dey house, sick, waiting for me.
Angela felt something break inside her chest. She opened her old Nokia phone. The screen was cracked, the battery lasted only 3 hours, and checked her account balance. 17,000 naira. That was everything she had in this world. Rent was due in 2 weeks. She needed to repair her only pair of work shoes. Her mother had asked for money to buy her father's blood pressure medicine. But this woman's daughter was sick. Angela did not think. She did not calculate. She did not make a list of pros and cons.
She simply walked to the nearby POS agent, withdrew the money, and pressed 15,000 naira into the woman's trembling hands. Take this. Buy drug for your pikin. Buy food. Take taxi go house. The woman stared at the money like it was a miracle. Sis, but this not too much. No worry. Just make sure your daughter gets better. The remaining 2,000 here, use and buy food for yourself today. You need strength. The woman knelt down on that dusty road, tears streaming down her face, and prayed for Angela in Igbo, in English, in tongues Angela didn't understand. Other people stopped and stared. Some shook their heads. This girl na mumu, she go suffer. But Angela just smiled, helped the woman up, and continued to the market. She didn't know that heaven had just opened a file with her name on it.
That day at Oil Mill Market, something strange happened. Angela sold everything. The clothes flew off the hangers like birds released from a cage. Women who were just passing by stopped to buy. Men bought for their wives. Even Madam Ngozi herself was shocked. Angela, what do you put for those clothes? Why everybody won't buy today? By 5 p.m. when Angela counted the money, Madam Ngozi's eyes nearly popped out. Angela had sold goods worth over 350,000 naira in one day, on a regular Wednesday. Madam Ngozi, who was a hard woman softened by profit, pressed 12,000 naira into Angela's palm. My daughter, God go bless you. I never see person wey get your selling power. Take this money, you deserve am. Angela couldn't believe it. The exact amount she gave to the factory woman plus the 2,000 she kept, 17,000 naira, returned in less than 6 hours. But the miracle was just beginning. As Angela was packing up to go home, someone called her name. Angela Okafor, is that you? She turned and saw Chike, her classmate from Uniport, the quiet boy who always sat in the front row taking notes. But he wasn't quiet anymore. He wore a sharp suit, carried a leather briefcase, and had the confidence of Lagos money. Chike? My God, how far? They talked. Chike had moved to Lagos, worked his way up, and was now a director at a major company with branches across Nigeria. When he heard Angela was selling clothes in the market despite her first-class degree, his face darkened. No, Angela, this is not right. You are too brilliant for this. They exchanged numbers. That night, Chike called her. Angela, dust your certificate. I'm sending you an address in Abuja. Meet my manager there. There's a position waiting for you. Trust me.
Angela couldn't sleep. She told her parents. They prayed over her, blessed her with holy water and palm oil, gave her extra money for transport. Her mother held her face and said, Nwame, Chukwu na elekutagi. My child, God is watching over you. Angela arrived in Abuja on a Thursday morning. By Friday evening, she was employed as a finance officer. Starting salary, 735,000 naira per month. She nearly fainted when she saw the offer letter. Within weeks, she found an affordable one-bedroom apartment in Lugbe. She sent money home, she bought food, she thanked God every morning and every night. But Angela didn't just work. She transformed that company. She saw inefficiencies others ignored. She identified revenue leaks others accepted as normal. She restructured their financial systems, renegotiated supplier contracts, and created forecasting models that saved millions. In her first year, she helped grow company revenue from 350 million naira to almost 1.5 billion naira. The board of directors noticed, the CEO noticed, and at the annual meeting, Angela was promoted to senior officer. But something else happened in that first year. Angela met Lillian.
Lillian was a senior staff when Angela joined. She was beautiful, eloquent, well-connected, and had been with the company for 5 years. She approached Angela during lunch one day.
You are the new girl everyone is talking about. Angela, right? I'm Lillian. Welcome. They became friends, or at least that's what Angela thought. They ate lunch together, they shared rides, they attended office parties as a pair. Lillian called Angela my sister. Angela called Lillian Lily. But inside Lillian's heart, something dark was growing. What nobody at the office knew was what Angela did with her salary every month. She split it in half. Half for herself, rent, food, savings, family support. Half for others. She paid school fees for children whose parents couldn't afford it. She covered hospital bills for 6 strangers. She gave rent money to widows about to be evicted. She bought foodstuff for pregnant women struggling to feed their families. Every month, Angela emptied her pockets into the hands of people who had no idea where their blessings came from. She kept a small notebook titled God's Work. Inside were names, amounts, dates. Not for pride, for remembrance, for gratitude. Chimu, thank you for allowing me to be your hands, she would pray. And God was listening. By her 3rd year, Angela had been promoted again, this time to assistant manager. Her salary tripled. She bought her parents a new home in Port Harcourt. She bought herself a modest car. She continued to give. But Lillian was no longer smiling. Lillian had been at this company for 7 years. She had done everything right. She dressed well, she networked, she attended every corporate retreat. But Angela, this girl from nowhere with her cheap perfume and modest dresses, had overtaken her in 3 years. One day, Lillian confronted Angela in the break room. Angela, babe, tell me the truth. What's your secret? How are you rising so fast? Is it juju? Is it connection? Is it something else? Angela laughed, thinking it was a joke. Lily, my dear, na God oh. Just hard work and prayer. Lillian forced a smile, but inside she made a decision. If Angela would not share her secret, then Angela must be destroyed. Lillian started small. She began bringing food to work. Jollof rice, fried rice, pepper soup, and always offered Angela the first portion. Angela, my sister, I cooked too much yesterday. Help me finish it. Angela, trusting and kind, would eat with joy. Lily, your food na bomb. Thank you. But Lillian had laced the food with poison bought from a herbalist in Buse Market. Nothing happened. Angela ate and continued working. No stomach pain, no dizziness, no illness. Lillian tried again. She used a stronger poison, mixed it in a goosey soup. Nothing happened. Angela even complimented the soup. Lily, this soup sweet die. Which market you buy this egusi? Frustrated, Lillian went back to the herbalists. Your poison is fake. I've been feeding her for weeks and she's not even sneezing. The herbalist, an old man with tribal marks and beads around his neck, looked at her with suspicion. Who is this person you want to kill? My colleague. She's taking everything from me. The man shook his head. Bring me something sweet she loves. Candy, chocolate, something she will eat with joy. I will prepare something special. Lillian bought Angela's favorite candy, Tom Tom. The herbalist performed rituals, danced around a fire, called on spirits, and infused the candy with a curse designed to kill within 7 days. Lillian brought the candy to work, smiling her brightest smile. Angela, I bought your favorite sweet. Take. Angela took the candy with joy. Ah, Lily, you're too good to me. Oh. She ate 5 pieces that day. Nothing happened. By day 7, Angela was glowing. Her skin was clearer, her energy was higher. She was even more beautiful than before. Lillian nearly lost her mind.
Lillian changed tactics. If poison wouldn't work, then violence would. She contacted a gang of area boys in Mpape, hardened criminals who did jobs for the right price. She paid them 1 million naira. Make sure she doesn't see tomorrow. I don't care how you do it.
The gang leader, a man known only as Capone, accepted the job. He and his boys waited near Angela Street one evening, ready to intercept her. But that night, Angela worked late. By the time she left the office, Capone had been called away for an emergency meeting with a rival gang. His boys waited alone. They never saw her. The next evening, they tried again. This time, they got her. They blocked her car at a lonely junction, dragged her out, took her keys, her phone, her bag, and drove her to a thick forest outside Abuja. Capone arrived, ready to finish the job himself. He pulled out his gun, walked toward where his boys had tied Angela to a tree, and yanked the cloth from her face. And then he froze. He knew that face. 3 years ago, Capone had been shot by a rival gang and left to bleed out on a Port Harcourt street. A young woman found him, called an ambulance, took him to the hospital, paid his bills over 400,000 naira, and even gave him money to recover. That woman was Angela. She didn't know he was a criminal. She just saw a dying human being. Untie her now, Capone roared at his boys. They stared at him in confusion. Boss, waiting. I said untie her. This woman saved my life. Angela, trembling and confused, stared at him. She didn't remember him. She had helped so many people. Madam, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was you. Forgive me, please. Capone escorted her back to her car himself, returned her keys, and assigned 2 of his boys to watch over her street. If anything happens to this woman, I will kill whoever is responsible. Lillian was beyond reason now. When Capone returned her money and refused the job, she didn't ask questions. She went deeper. She traveled to Ogun State, to a powerful Babalawo known for dark rituals. She told him everything: the poison, the kidnapping, Angela's impossible luck. I want her to go mad. I want her to suffer. The Babalawo looked at her with ancient eyes. The woman you speak of is protected. She is Omochukwu, a child of destiny. To attack her is to attack the forces that shield her. If you proceed, the curse will return to you threefold. I don't care, Lillian screamed. Do it! The Babalawo nodded slowly. Then you will pay the price. Lie in the casket for 24 hours. Do not speak, do not move, and in 48 hours after you leave, your enemy will lose her mind. Lillian lay in that casket for 24 hours, breathing shallow breaths, surrounded by the smell of death and incense. She prayed to darkness. She cursed Angela's name. She swore she would finally win. When she emerged, pale and trembling, the Babalawo gave her final instructions. Go. In 48 hours, it will be done. Lillian returned to Abuja, waiting, watching, counting the hours. 48 hours passed. Nothing happened to Angela. But something happened to Lillian. On the 3rd day after her return, during a normal Tuesday morning meeting, Lillian stood up suddenly. Her eyes were wide, her hands were shaking, her lips were moving rapidly. And then she began to scream. It was me. I tried to poison her. I fed her poison for months. I paid kidnappers. I went to Ogun. I slept in a casket. I wanted her to die. I wanted her to suffer. But she wouldn't fall. She wouldn't die. Why won't you die, Angela? The entire office fell silent. Angela stood frozen, tears streaming down her face, not from anger, but from heartbreak. Lily, why? But Lillian wasn't finished. She tore at her clothes, pulled at her hair, and ran out of the building, screaming incoherently into the Abuja streets. Security tried to catch her, but she disappeared into the city, shouting confessions to strangers, to trees, to the sky. She was later found wandering near Aso Rock, completely mad, speaking to invisible enemies. Her family came to take her. They brought her to churches, to hospitals, to prayer mountains. But the madness never left. Angela wept for days. Not because of what Lillian tried to do to her, but because of what envy had done to Lillian. The police investigated. They found the herbalist in Ogun State. He confessed everything. Lillian was charged in absentia, but she would never stand trial. She was beyond the reach of courts. Angela continued her work. She continued to give. She continued to help. But she carried Lillian's story as a lesson. 1 year later, Angela returned to Port Harcourt. She went to Rumola Junction, to the spot where she had met the crying factory worker. She stood there for a long time, remembering. An elderly woman selling oranges nearby recognized her. "Ah, you be that girl where they help people. I remember you." Angela smiled. "Mama, how you know?" "My sister, everybody for this area sabi you. We see wetin you dey do, the way you carry yourself. God dey with you, my daughter."
Angela bought all the woman's oranges and gave her double the price. As she walked away, the woman called after her, "Omalicha nwa, Chineke na eche gi nche." Beautiful child, God is watching over you. Angela smiled through tears. There is an old Igbo proverb, "Aka aja aja na ebute onu manu manu." A dirty hand brings an oily mouth. What you do in secret, good or evil, will return to you in public. Angela gave in secret, heaven rewarded her in public. Lillian destroyed in secret, madness claimed her in public. You see, my brothers and sisters, there are forces in this world beyond our certificates, beyond our connections, beyond even our ambitions. There is a law older than Nigeria, older than Africa, older than humanity itself. What you sow, you will reap. Not sometimes, not maybe, always. Angela's shield was not juju. It was not luck. It was the accumulated prayers of every widow she housed, every child she fed, every stranger she blessed. When you become a vessel of heaven's mercy, heaven becomes your armor, and no weapon, not poison, not kidnappers, not curses from Ogun State can penetrate that kind of protection. So I ask you today, wherever you are watching this story, in Lagos, in New York, in London, in Johannesburg, ask yourself, what are you sowing? Because whether you believe in God, in karma, in the universe, or in the ancestors, one truth remains. The hand that gives is never empty, and the heart that seeks to destroy will destroy itself first. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of something you needed to hear today, subscribe to this channel. We share the wisdom of Africa, ancient truths for modern times. Drop a comment and tell us, where are you watching from? Until then, may your hands be blessed, your heart be pure, and your path be protected. This is African wisdom. This is our story. This is who we are. Odo, peace.